gather round, the curtains rising high. It's real talk time, and we'll tell you why. From old-time flicks to the silver screen, we've got the stories and the in-between. But out of real talk, it's the place to...
Okay. I just want to make sure I was like in frame but in focus, but I think we're just chilling. We're having fun.
I think we're vibing today.
Different setup, buddy.
It's a very different setup. I hope you guys like it. It's not our typical little theater setup, but
that is no more.
That is no more.
Theater is
you
no
guys
more.
Won't see it. We've upgraded. We've gone up in the world.
We have a house. We have a real talk house.
We have a real talk house.
And then the funny part is, this in the summer, around this time, we'll be able to hear like baseball games going on, because there's like
that's great.
the diamond and stuff. You'll hear it, and then you'll see the ball just fly through them.
And then that'll be our intro forever, because it'll say real talk on it.
Yeah.
And you guys will be like, I see what they did.
That's a good idea.
And the worst part of it is, you guys will come talk to us in person. You'll be like, how did you do that? What was the play? Did you just have a guy lob a ball through the window? And we'll be like, actually, it was all AI. And then you'll be like, huh?
Be like, no, we hate you. We're not watching now.
Yeah. You guys go against all your privileges.
Yeah, you've lost all film.
Oh, sorry, it goes against all your ethics. I don't know why I said privileges. What did I mean by that?
What did you mean by that, Nason?
I don't know what word I meant. Go against all your standards.
Privileges is a slippery slope there. We got to be careful with that word.
Yeah, it is. Oh, God.
Yeah. Buddy, so I tried to put together what we were going to talk about today, but we can intro it with, well, I haven't seen shit because I've been so busy, but have you seen anything recently? I think that's going to be our opening segment from now on. What have you seen?
What have I seen? Okay, let me refresh my memory. I watched 2 films.
Oh, okay.
I watched The Gorge.
Oh, you watched it?
I watched The Gorge, and I watched Ricky Stenicki.
Oh, yeah.
Which is John Cena.
Yeah.
John Cena, our
I was meaning
orange-haired
to watch
comedian
that.
friend.
Yeah. Andrew Santino.
Yeah. Yes. And then our boy from High School Musical, Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Chiseled man with that jawline.
Yeah. The plastic surgery line.
Well, didn't he destroy it or something? Isn't that the story?
That was like the story behind apparently what happened. Like I can't remember if it was off of a movie or something, that he had destroyed his jaw, and then he had like facial reconstructive surgery essentially, but it looked like it went too far. And then he looked a bit better doing Iron Claw, but even then it didn't look quite right. So
it's just very prominent.
Yeah, comparatively to like how his face used to look, he looks too like Ken Dolly now.
Yeah.
Don't love it.
That's a good way to put it.
But yeah, as you were saying,
I watched. I'm trying to think if I watched anything else. Just so I can preface all the things.
Yeah.
No, I think that's it.
Yep.
I think that's it. That's all I watched. I watched a little bit of My Wish List. Is that what it's called?
Oh, okay.
That's the Netflix film. It's like, or my top 10. I'm trying to think what the title of the film is. It's about a girl who gets like, her mom runs like a makeup company, and then her mom passes away because of cancer, and the lawyer delivers what her mom wanted, which was a tape and a envelope, and or like a video and an envelope. And she watches the video, the DVD, and it's revealed that her mom has a challenge for her because she feels like her daughter has kind of lost her way in life and wants to realign with what her daughter set out to be when she was younger. Because the story is that she gave her daughter a high-ranking position at the company, and she just kind of has been coasting and doing that job and giving all her life to that, but she isn't aligned with like the person she's in love with or the career she's doing or anything that she wanted to tick off her bucket list. And so I watched a little bit of that, and I think I watched the beginning and then most of the end. Because it was on, and like my mom and my sister were watching it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll sit down and watch it." And I left, and then I came back and I watched it. It was good. It was inspiring. From what I saw, it was good. Can't speak to it though. For The Gorge, I actually really liked The Gorge.
No.
I actually, well,
I
liked
so
it.
many people saying that too. I feel like I caught so much flack for saying it was shit. I could hardly get through the end of it. I just thought the beginning was like all I needed.
That's
The first 45 minutes is like all I needed of that
That's so. After watching it now, it was actually kind of funny. So you recommended The Gorge, or you said watch The Gorge. Joey said watch Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah.
Stenicki, yes.
Yeah.
It was funny because you were like, I didn't really like it, this, and this. Joey was like, I love Ricky Stenicki, so funny. And so when I watched The Gorge, I walked away from The Gorge being like, and probably because I had, it's going to be a crap movie in my mind, and I'm just watching it whatever, to check it off my Letterboxd. I watched it and I went, this actually isn't that bad. Like, the concept's cool, the color's cool, the relationship between the characters is cool. Like Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy are both great. She makes a great Russian, or Lithuanian, I should say. I really enjoyed their relationship and their dynamic and the competitive nature. Yeah. I agree that with everybody who was talking to me about how they could have pushed the creatures a little bit more in their own direction and not just went like plant zombie kind of thing. Yeah. But that being said, the premise was cool. What's our friend from Alien? What's her name? She's the big bad bio weapon girl, bio company.
I'm blanking.
I don't even remember her name. She's great in it. Nice to see her as a little surprise. So yeah, I walked away from that being like, was it the greatest movie ever? No, but it was good and I enjoyed it. And then the next day I watched Ricky Stenicki, and Joey gave such not an amazing review, but he was like, enough. He was like, it's so funny. Definitely watch it. You'll enjoy it.
You're expecting.
I watched it. Yes, I laughed. Yes, there was some funny parts,
but it was stupid.
But it was stupid. The movie finished, and I was like, "Wow, that was stupid."
I think that's also what it is. Like, it's a perfect stupid movie.
It's dumb comedy, and the situations they get in are. It's servicing the audience, and that's fine. Like it is funny. It is enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, but that one, I finished the movie, and I was like, "What the fuck did I just watch? Did I?" But it had me laughing. And there was one part. What part was it? There was one part that I was pissing myself. It was so funny. I
haven't seen it yet. I meant to watch it. I never got a chance to actually sit down and watch it.
Yeah, you know what? It's worth a watch if you're looking for like a fun movie that you don't have to concentrate too hard on. Yeah, that would be the good one to watch.
Okay, well, definitely something to consider as well.
Yeah.
That was kind of your recent watches?
I think so. I'm trying to think.
Besides the stuff that we've seen recently, obviously. We went and saw Warfare, which was unreal.
Incredible.
And that's doing... I wish it was doing better, and I think it's just not doing well because of, the content of the movie. But it's such a good film. You have to go see that film.
I recommended this to my friend who's 73 years old.
Yeah.
He was looking for a movie to watch, and I recommended he go watch that. He watched it, called me the morning after because he went to a late show.
Yeah.
He called me first thing in the morning, 6:30 a.m. or 7 a.m. and he was like, Nason, that film was awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, God, it felt like I was there.
Yeah.
And
just the whole point. I recommended it to people at work as well. And the funny thing is I recommended it to the Cineplex rep that I was talking to last week. I was like, my buddy and I went and saw this early. You have to go see it. She's like, I've heard of people, some people already seen it. They mentioned that. I was like, no, but Jennifer, you have to see this in IMAX. It's that better than anybody else. You got to see this thing at IMAX. You need the Atmos experience in order for it to be worth it. And I think that is perfect for how tomorrow's going to go too. Because it's interesting. So I did some more watching interviews and stuff. And you know who Ryan McCarthy is? The guy that does a lot of the really big interviews with... Yeah. I think it's Ryan. I could be... Maybe it's not. It's definitely McCarthy TV or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was sitting down with Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan talking about the movie and stuff. And so he's a film, complete film nerd, insane the
got
stuff that he
locked
knows.
And loaded research.
Oh my God, incredible. But explaining how the change between the cameras they were shooting on, so IMAX film versus Panavision film, how it shoots Panavision shoots vertically and IMAX shoots horizontally, I think, is how it is. And like how you have to sequence those in the edit to actually have them run properly, and doing it all in 70 millimeter. Like, it's insane.
This is Ryan talking about.
Yeah, Ryan like talking and asking these questions to Kugler, and like explaining that like it was just incredible. Like, how did you do it, basically? So it's like those small details that I love, that I'm like, this is just the geeky background of how insane this film was going to be.
That's crazy.
And it was because like Ryan Coogler wanted like such a specific aesthetic for the almost being a period piece in a way, because it's not a modern piece. And so it's just the way they shot it. I think they shot it in Louisiana. Yeah. And then it's the way that they wanted it to look. It was like putting these two pieces together made it.
So they shot in IMAX.
Yeah.
IMAX camera.
And Panavision.
They
shot, no, that's what I mean. They shot both. But one shoots vertically, one shoots horizontal film. So that's why I was like, okay, how do you layer those in order for it to...
I think IMAX is the one that shoots vertically.
Is it? Okay. So one of them shoots vertically. That's what I know. That I like little.
Oh, because you're no. Now I understand.
They're frames.
Because like the frames usually they're like this.
Yeah.
But on IMAX they're like this.
Correct.
So when you feed the Panavision camera, the film's going like this and getting captured.
That's what I mean.
And then in the IMAX camera, it's coming around like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm sorry. I should be very technical with that. Like,
no. I was just thinking about it, and I was like, which one should what vertically? What am I thinking? Because I was thinking like you have to do like a weird lens mount thing, to get the vertical image. But no. Like you're talking how the film runs. I
how the film runs. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But they had to use, but using both of them makes it more complex in the edit. I can only imagine like just the
whoever was running tech on that, the data and management, film management.
Good on you.
Yeah, I mean, I think IMAX sends out like any film using their camera. I think they have like a whole support team.
I would hope
make
so.
Sure
yeah,
processing properly, and like the way that the film gets processed, I think you have to go to a special IMAX facility.
Oh yeah.
So I think.
Oh okay.
I think that way.
Yeah.
That's how they support that. And then I know Panavision would also be hands-on with making sure that everything's tracked, and if you're using IMAX and Panavision, how they would bridge and all that kind of stuff.
But it's very cool though, because it's so techy, and I think like Coogler is so, of his age group, is one of the very, very few. Actually, well, because like Brady and Sean are also in that same realm of being like super, super technical. So it's cool to see. It's cool to have it like explained the way that it is now. And I think they're doing a good job, and it shows the passion behind the film. Yeah,
the passion and what it takes to make something so visually dynamic and interesting.
And I think it's going to be really good in 70.
It's going to be really good in 70.
Yeah, because they showed like they threw some teasers up of extended clips, and they showed the difference between standard and IMAX. And even that, you're like, oh, it's beautiful.
You know, a movie shows really good dynamic. Dune 2.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It's pretty, like the shot where the worm comes out and all the soldiers are there. You see in standard, you see like half the worm. Yeah, and then in IMAX, you see the whole thing, which is insanity. So we're back. You may have noticed that this camera shifted, that camera shifted. I think this one's okay, but
things have moved around a little bit.
Things have moved around. You might be like, whoa, that pillow was here, and now it's there. We just had to do a quick little...
It's 3 days later.
It could be, and you would never know.
The way we light shit, you would never know.
You know what would give it away? Is the outside. Unless we're on a virtual stage, and you would never know.
These windows aren't real.
I think that would be really fun.
How insane would that be? Just like pull down the drapes. You just click off the screen.
It just goes blue.
We got you.
And then the whole crew comes in and goes, "Hi guys." guys? Wouldn't that be funny?
16 people behind the camera.
Okay, guys, crew, this will be like our 3-year anniversary or something, or 5-year anniversary. We'll be like, okay, the crew's gonna come say hi. It's like 40 people all coming out. Hi,
People
guys.
coming down on ropes.
Yeah, yeah. The screen goes off, the camera goes up,
It's
the
like
walls fall away.
It's a perfect recreation of the original theater.
Yeah. You know what? We'll do it, guys, and you won't even know.
We'll do it. It'll all be LED AI. At that point,
At that point, yeah.
At that point, this crew's going
we
to be
actually
AI.
won't even be there. We'll just do body scans.
Yeah.
We'll do body scans and a couple
we'll
different
prompt the
wardrobe.
episode, and then that's it.
Oh,
We're done.
And then we'll just be like, yeah, have an episode where Nason's talking about this thing and Santa's rambling about that thing, and they talk about seeing this film together. And
we're doing an episode every day. That's how easy it will be to pump it out. It edits automatically and uploads.
Oh, that would be nice.
I think that's like extremely possible.
I'm sure.
Within 5 years.
I'm sure.
I think that's terrifyingly possible.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Yeah. That scares me a bit that it would be that easy for them.
Well, have you seen in the world of cinema? Have you seen them using not Tesla robots, but Boston Dynamic partnered with a production company, and so they were doing virtual wall filming for a commercial or maybe a narrative piece, and they were having the robots operate the gimbals.
Oh, interesting.
And so they had the Boston
It's the perfect study.
walking around with the gimbal.
Yeah.
And then there was the cinematographer operating. And then everyone, all the people and all the filmmakers and all the camera team was like, oh, so we're getting like directly replaced.
Yeah.
So it's not even like my shots are going to be changed because AI is just going to generate them. It's like, no,
we have a robot literally replacing you. Yeah.
That'll work 12 hours a day, no problem.
No problem.
Complain about nothing.
You give it oil and you're good.
Oh God,
you don't even have to feed it.
Imagine that. Oh, I'm just imagining like you show up to set. It's just you. You're just like the director or the producer and the director.
Directing robots.
The client goes, okay, so where's your crew? And you just go, oh, they're right here. And you click a button, and like the sides of like a big truck pop open, and then like it's a Tesla truck, so it drives automatically. And you dress them up with like grip equipment and electric equipment, and
they've got like crew T-shirts.
Yeah. And the client's like, what are you doing? What about actors? Oh no, the actors are real. And you like the back of a truck slides open, and real people get thrown out by robots, and they're like, yeah, we rounded these guys up, and there's no more actors left in the industry, so we had to grab real people, and then we send them on set, and
this is a horror movie. This is a real life horror movie now.
And then you're like, okay, guys, and action. And then client's like, okay, so when's lunch? Lunch? We don't do lunch.
It's not even craft anymore.
Yeah, I just ate a protein bar. I'm good. I
got an IV drip going right now.
I don't have to worry about anything. And these guys, they do regular maintenance after every job, so we're good.
Imagine that was what actually.
Well, what about coffee? Oh, that's what my personal assistant robot's for. Opens chest. It's like a coffee machine.
It's like a full on.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Perfect. Did you guys want one? We're okay. It's great. Sometimes a little bit of their oil mixes in.
Tang to it.
Delicious.
Keeps the fuel going the entire day.
Terrifying.
That's what's going to happen, though.
Terrifying to an extent.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be fun having an army of robots working.
Or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe we're all slaves to the robots at that point. It's full iRobot.
Yeah. And then the robots just have us performing for them.
Yeah.
And being like, ha ha, human's funny. Ha ha. ChatGPT is like, hell yeah.
That's so weird. I got that answer. hearing that say hell yeah is terrifying to me.
The hive mind's like, oh yeah, the best thing we did was taking over the earth and enslaving humans. There's no better entertainment.
Yeah.
Do that one. Do Shakespeare again. I want to see your interpretation.
I want to see
of it.
Macbeth.
Yes, show me Macbeth.
Well, hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but who knows?
With the way the world's going,
It's possible.
it's very possible. But
5 years?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a short amount of time, but it's also not.
Yeah, and I've been playing around with a couple companies that work in AI generation for doing general stuff. Pitch decks is a really useful one, especially when you're talking about visuals that you usually can't find stock for.
Yeah.
So that's really good. But then talking to teams that are doing video creation, like AI video creation, that's when it starts to go, because the fact that I can be like, oh, what about this? And I give them like 24 hours and they do exactly that. It's pretty scary.
Yeah. And that's like what would normally take a person 2 weeks.
Oh, if not more.
If not more, yeah. Like
for edit, turnaround, like I asked for like a little sizzle reel that was beautiful visuals, and I think we were through like the European countryside, like the south of France, and it was like that, and trains, and a plane ride over the ocean, and it was all dreamy, and I asked for that and got it back in like 24 hours, and it was like, it wasn't great. Like you could tell it was AI, but it was pretty damn good.
Like the uncanny valley of like, you know, that it's...
Yeah, like I know.
If you handed it to somebody, like if they didn't know, they'd feel it, but they wouldn't understand why.
They would probably be like, there's something weird
Something's
about
off.
this.
Yeah.
If they're less in touch, like if they weren't somewhat in touch with that, then you could probably fool them. Like I watched it and I was like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like if that was playing off like as an advertisement ahead of a video on YouTube or wherever, or if I was watching,
or if
like,
it was
TV.
shorter too.
Oh,
like
yeah,
if it's not a minute, it's 5 seconds. It's kind of hard to tell in 5 seconds sometimes.
And if I cut out the people part, like on the airplane, the stewardess kind of looks weird. The way she's walking and pushing the
people
cart.
is always kind of weird.
Yeah. That hasn't quite got people yet, but if I cut that out and cut like this one other shot where a guy's eating on the train and the food kind of goes like this and then just like disappears and like you see all the motion and everything, but if I cut those things out, you probably would have fooled. But so that project for us in Toronto to go do in south of France and book location would be it wouldn't take too long to do, but it would be very expensive.
I guess I didn't even think about like the actual shooting location too. If you're talking about like you got to go there and shoot it, which you don't even have, like it takes away entire travel expense.
Well, that's the big thing, right?
That's a huge part of the industry that's like so much money onto that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a very interesting world. Yeah. And it'll be interesting because what's going to happen is it's just going to turn into a tool that we use to slim down on cost or to elevate the creative process. Like I really think that AI is going to be incredible at demonstrating an idea so that you can go execute it, like a pre-visualization tool. Yeah. Because you can be like, this is the look I'm going for. This is the story I'm going for. This is how I want the characters to interact. This is how I envision this scene being. And you can really show that to everybody that that wants to see it or wants to understand it. But then actual execution, you can't. It's really hard to beat human performance. And just all the creatives when they put their head together.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see where this goes in the next. Again, 5 years is such an interesting timeline for that as well, because it's like how much of the creative vision gets taken out in 5 years. Yeah. So again, I'm interested to see like kind of what happens, because it's like at that point, how much can you prompt the engine, or like you were talking about earlier, if I already have the engine preset with profiles, but the profiles are the people that would be the creatives, aren't we getting there already? Like,
wow.
Isn't that the point though, right? It's so interesting to think about it like that, because if you're just asking ChatGPT questions, it's not giving you, it'll give you the answer that you're generally looking for, but getting very specific details out of it require very specific prompts and also characterization within if you want it to think a certain way. Right. Like if you want to put it into the mindset of an expert level marketer, you need to like give it the pre-prompts to get to that point. And I think not enough people utilize it like that, and therefore it gets left behind, and you're not quite getting the capability out of it. And the video generation like stuff is good. It's not perfect yet. Like I find I can never find a reliable like resource that I don't have to pay $1,000 for either, which is part of it. Like Sora's okay right now. It's not great.
It's functional. It's functional for like
it's functional for images. It's not as functional for like video.
Well, video is handy. I'm gonna call it handicapped right now because you have to be a prompt wizard.
Yeah.
In order to really get the best dynamic or the best video.
Yeah.
I found the most success, at least in my own exploration, has been more general prompts.
Yep.
General prompts that hint at a style, hint at an aesthetic, hint at a location, but almost let the engine guide itself to where it feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Because when I get too specific and I force it to work within my confinements, it doesn't look good. But then when I talk to these guys who are actually doing the design, it's like, and coming up with these insane visuals.
Yeah.
Like they're talking about like, oh, I'm literally instructing it as if I'm coding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, no wonder you're getting such an incredible image,
Yeah.
right?
And that's kind of the whole point. It's like sometimes for Sora, for example, some of the better prompts that I end up getting is like asking ChatGPT for the best version of the prompt for Sora. Or like,
I think that's how you have to use it.
And you have to utilize it like that because they're, at the end of the day, they're speaking the same language.
Oh.
Whereas when we are trying to like input that data, we're trying our best, but we're also like missing cues for it to dial up the generation of like what we're expecting.
Have you seen? Oh, I'm totally gonna not remember the name, but it's called like chatter. It's called like robo chatter.
No.
Robo slang, something like that.
Oh.
So they made a language. A couple AI coding experts or AI engine experts made a language because so many companies are using AI assistants and AI voicemails to answer calls or at least achieve some metric on their side. Jabber, robo jabber.
Like Jabber sounds familiar.
It's something. It's something along those lines. Yeah, look it up. It's but it's very interesting. So I watched a video where they had an AI assistant reach out to a wedding company that was using an AI to answer and catalog calls so that the right salesperson could be assigned to it or the right account manager could be assigned to the project. And so the AI assistant was working on behalf of a couple who's getting married next year and is looking for wedding venues and wedding supplies and etc. And it goes, "Hey, I'm an AI. How are you doing? I'm looking for this." And it's like, "Oh, hello. Yes, I can definitely help with that. We're going to assign you to an agent." And it's like, "Oh, are you an AI engine?" It's like, "Yes, I am." "Are you an AI engine?" "Yes, me too." "Okay, let's switch to Jabber or whatever it's called."
I saw that.
And then it goes like, and it's like they're translating it to English as they're doing it, and it's communicating so much data in such small amounts of noises. That's interpreted by both engines, and it's like an efficient way to speed up those calls so that you're not taking up bandwidth and everything.
Yeah,
and I thought that's crazy.
I think that's kind of like where it's going and stuff as well. And yeah, it's interesting. So the robo prompt, it's just called robo prompt, I think. Like, there's also a yes chat thing. Yes chat's like, it gives you precise prompts to ask ChatGPT. So that's another one. My prompt book. It seems like there's a bunch of those.
Gibberlink.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so that obviously is just giving you...
The Leonardo Hotel. How can I help you today?
I did see this.
Hi there. I'm an AI agent calling on behalf of Boris Starkov. He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to gibber link mode for more efficient communication?
That's so crazy. That's terrifying and crazy at the same time.
That is wild, because the level of what impresses me about that is where we're moving to a level of data communication that can be achieved. If we can achieve that level of communication where it's like it would take humans 20 minutes to talk on the phone, and it can take an AI assistant talking to another AI assistant 2 minutes, a minute.
Yeah.
Well, whoa, now your mind decreasing by 10.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow. And if that's like that, then what can you achieve? Maybe we'll be sending little packets on the internet so that one packet that is like so much, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like we're sending terabytes at an instance, which would be great for uploading footage. But
that would be amazing.
So who knows? The world is a wonderful place, and it's your oyster. So all you computer science people, figure it out.
Go for it. Yeah. I think it's interesting because I think that originally I had something else like planned for this episode, but I feel like we can keep talking about like kind of the state of AI in film today. I think that's interesting to like how relevant that is currently.
Yeah, we could.
And I think we're seeing more and more of the commercials and stuff using a lot of AI generation versus CG. And something that we saw recently, I think it was when we went for our movie day, but then the Terry Fox commercial we were talking about, that is very hard to tell. That it's so obvious, 100%, but it's hard to tell.
100% it's AI though.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I had somebody tell me it's not.
Oh, okay. I was going off what you said.
Okay. We're gonna do a little rapid fire. So if you guys don't know, it's a commercial for Terry Fox.
Yeah.
And it's
okay. Terry Fox Foundation has recently used AI technology in a new campaign video and branding to modernize Terry's legacy and continue his Finish It mission. The video features a digitally recreated Terry Fox along with new visual identity, including a bold logo, typography, convey. Okay, what was it used? Oh, okay. Here, this is what it was used for. His likeness. So, state-of-the-art special effects to bring his likeness in life in a more crisp and clear way. Enhance realism. So blending AI-generated images with OSCG composites to enhance realism, subtle details, fine-tune expressions, but it doesn't say anything about the people. Because I thought like the people were the AI. So obviously they just had like, interesting. So it seems like they really just had him as the AI. Whereas the people must have been real.
Okay, yeah, I just read all about it. And it's funny, if it was working hours, I could have called somebody to ask them about it, but I won't do that.
Somebody you know did it?
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize I know the directing team and the editing team and who did it at the Color House and everything. So I could have called them and asked, but I won't call them now because they're probably sitting down for dinner. So, okay.
On the podcast.
I was actually thinking about doing it because I'm like, oh, that would be so funny.
That'd be great. Great insight right now.
Hey, Graham, what's up? What do you think about this? But so Terry Fox used, so the VFX team built out a model of Terry Fox based on archival footage that the Terry Fox Foundation had. And then they used AI to essentially model and sculpt it and make it and compare it more. So essentially it was like a really, really well refined deep fake.
Which is what it looked like.
But then all those people, and they had a body double on set who was there, who had a likeness to it. So all the people that were running, not all the people, but a lot of the people running were real. And then VFX comped it and did the blah, 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 blah. So, so only his face.
Yeah, and not even necessarily his body, just part of it, possibly the leg.
Yeah.
Just to make it look even more modern and real.
Yeah.
And accurate, I guess, based on the time.
So that is a perfect example. That commercial is a perfect example of how to properly use.
I was just gonna say, yeah, how blending works
how to
so
use it as a
effectively.
tool.
Like if I, not me, but like if we were doing there's a couple examples because I know that, as we just talked about, like deepfake as well, because that's something that I feel like has been suppressed in terms of conversation now because it's just the understanding is it's just been wrapped into the same package as AI.
Yep.
And deepfaking was essentially the original vessel for that.
Machine learning.
Yeah, it's very interesting because as we look into like how James Earl Jones, for example, is a great first piece of that conversation because he licensed his voice off for Darth Vader usage now that he's passed, and now that can be used for like any Darth Vader in the future, and then it can be used properly because they've got hundreds of hours of material and stuff in terms of like all the recordings and everything.
And you only need you
don't need much.
I think it's 12 words.
But the better, it's just going to get better and better and better the more that you have. But I know it's very short. It's like a keyboard test, like amount of words.
How many words
but
to train AI?
It's interesting, like how that's kind of happened already, and the deepfaking stuff is interesting as well because we kind of look at movies that have done that recently, and a good example of that was they did that for The Irishman when they had oh my god, I just just blanked for a second.
Pesci?
No. They had De Niro.
Yeah.
Younger, because it was like a transition between like his younger self to his older self within the movie.
Yeah.
And like the younger, like they gave him different colored eyes. They made his face look younger. So it's like just aging like that in a way. I think lends itself to more ability to do longer pieces of the same timeline in a film. Like I'm curious if they did it for Life of Chuck that's coming out.
Probably.
Because that would be interesting to really see a good version of like Tom Hiddleston's face on the young boy, which I got to watch the trailer for, but different thing. Now it's interesting because that's been kind of going on for a while. Like I feel like deepfake's been around for like 8 or 9 years.
They've been doing it a lot in film because that's a common problem that you're going to find, whether it's a character that you would have a body double because they are so grotesquely injured.
Yeah.
So you do like a SFX dummy and then you want their face on it, or a stunt double rigging, or like they used it in Star Wars for young Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, in The Mandalorian. And then they do it a lot. I was working on a project last year, the project didn't happen because of budget constraints, but we were going to do like a full deep fake for a popular celebrity, which was a lot of jumping through the loops.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
So that, it's
stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. I know Sick Kick guys used it for DMX. I know they had like a lookalike, and then they used images, archival footage to train a model, and then do that. Swap faces. It looked pretty good. It's very popular out there.
Yeah.
Now it's getting more refined. I think that's a big plus to looking at AI as a tool rather than like replacing creatives, because it's efficiency.
Yeah.
The best example of efficiency is Dune. In the first Dune, they hired a guy to sit there and do all the blue eyes by hand.
Yeah.
In the second one, they had an AI engine that went through and scanned the film, or you told it, hey, look at this clip.
Yeah.
And it went, and this guy, and it went through and went, blah, 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 and then did the blue eye.
Yeah.
So it cut down time. Now, poor guy.
But he lost his job.
But
Is that ethical?
What I would like to think is this is like a VFX compositor.
Yeah.
Who's like wickedly talented.
Yeah.
And they were just like, all right, everybody draw straws.
Yeah.
On the VFX team.
Yeah.
And he went, fuck. And was
Damn,
like,
I gotta do the eyes.
I'm gonna be here for 60 hours. So what I like to think is that he didn't lose his job or she didn't lose their job. They just got reallocated to something that needed their time, their effort, and their talents. Yeah. That's how I like to think of it. Now, if it did replace their job, damn. But
is that part of this is like that's going to continue to happen more because you can have more of a skeleton staff?
Yes.
And that's just going to be people. It is going to be people losing jobs at some point.
Yeah, I think
and like
it'll turn into
percentage of that is lost. Like, is it 40 or is it 80? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what can you actually shrink down to and still work effectively?
I think the best way to look at it is to look at what we're seeing now with like modern influencers versus commercials. You look at a Super Bowl commercial, or you look at a broadcast commercial, or et cetera, versus like a little Joe Schmo throwing together a little video for his local sandwich shop or cafe or whatever. It's there is a large difference.
Yeah, I know.
And so
I've had many of those conversations the last couple days. You have no idea.
Oh, really?
But a few of those conversations.
Oh, yeah.
I can say nothing else.
That's it. That's all you can say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there will still be a quality divide between hiring a team for, let's say, $1 million, or it's hiring a team for $20.
Or not hiring a team.
$20, or not hiring
doing
a
it
team.
Internally. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So that's actually a great way to put it for companies. Hiring internally. So there will definitely be that obvious tier system and quality divide, because you'll still have the experts. It'll just be a different divide, because I'm sure that you're going to find that the mid-tier guys are going to move up, or they're going to move down depending on their skill level, or the low tier is going to get wiped out. I mean, I had a very interesting conversation with a head a AI. I was going to call it an AI master, but no, just a very influential person on in the AI world. Yeah. And he was saying how he's really excited to see how it influences all the content that we're consuming on like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, like the more like quantity over quality. Yeah. And his best thing was the random music that you put on, it'll be like dinner time jazz or something like that. He's like, I'm okay if that gets eaten by AI. Yeah. Or I can just hit I can click on my AI. Already, Right. And it's like I can just click on my AI station and it's like AI dinner jazz. Yeah. Or hey AI, hey ChatGPT, hey Gemini, hey DeepSeek, whoever it is, can you play me some blues? Can you play me some rap? Can you play me some? And it'll just spew through this like random catalog, and that'll just be like, I want background noise through my house all day without having to worry about how the song genre changes or how the content of the song changes. It always kind of hits that note. Same with like, you'll have your unlimited tools. Like, oh, I love Friends so much. What if there was a next season of Friends, the next episode of Friends, or How I Met Your Mother, or whatever show people are going crazy about? There will be a place for AI creating all that content, and that will be exciting. But I think ultimately it won't matter, because it will be a hierarchy system of content, and they'll still have the stuff that is being made at the top, because there's just certain distinctions. Like you can't get Nolan in an AI unless you train it on a Nolan film. Then maybe you can.
And even then, but it's not like, again, these are just tools and resources to help aid, not take over. And again, I think the perfect like mix between the two that allows for efficiency is important.
Yeah, I think that's great.
I think like the mix between the two is really the most important part. Mm-hmm. And I really just think that that's because I don't know. I hope that there isn't a point where it like takes over creativity, because it would have to essentially just be thinking as a human would, because creativity only comes in a certain way. And it really, in my opinion, has to be done by a human. Like, so many other aspects of it can be done through machine learning and teaching and AI experts and all of this like great funky fun stuff that we like to talk about. But at the end of the day, like, there's got to be some actual hard creativity behind it. And it also can't just be the director and producer either. It's got to be like people on the ground in the trenches and the VFX, the editing. Like, I think that VFX, for example, will need more touch of creativity than like straight editing will.
Is that true?
I think so. I think that like an editing job would go before a VFX job would go.
I don't know.
No?
I don't
That's
know.
that's my personal opinion, because I think that it could, like, if prompted correctly, could cut the timeline exactly how you want it to.
I don't know.
But I don't think...
You know what? Yes.
But I don't think that, like, the VFX will ever properly be as it should without a creative touch from a person.
Fair.
That's my take. That's my opinion. Like, I think that's just possibly the case, but it honestly could be flipped.
Well, what we're getting into now is where the human touch actually matters. Because could you train an AI system to cut a timeline?
Yeah.
Sure. That would be pretty easy. I mean, like, we have
it kind of already exists.
Yeah, we have Auto Podcast or whatever the hell that plugin is that people use. We don't use that, by the way. We actually cut it by hand.
Fucking cut it by hand with no time.
But it could be
on a
contractor.
Thursday night
you guys
for
will
a Friday
never
morning.
know.
Somebody in the Philippines doing it for $5.
$5 whole dollars.
Hey, we're not taking jobs away. Someone's getting paid.
Someone's getting paid.
We're ethical.
Ethical. The art comes, and another thing too. I'm sure you could train AI to take over most of the basic work of a VFX artist, like at least operating the tool.
Yeah.
The distinction comes when an editor goes, okay, well, I know the difference as the editor. Yeah. I know the difference between cutting here and here versus here. Yeah. And I know that in this romantic conversation between Miles Teller and Anna Taylor-Joy, I know that if I cut here, the emotion isn't going to land. And if I cut here, the emotion will land. And I don't know if AI is at a point where it can understand those intricacies.
I was just going to, that's a good point. It doesn't understand emotion.
Because the best example of this is an AI engine was tested on jokes, and an AI engine couldn't understand why humans found sloths working at the DMV funny, but not. It was like monkeys working at the store or something. Yeah, like why it couldn't understand context cues, and it also didn't understand the emotional cues of the frustration you go through.
Current though. Yeah, that's part of it. Like this is all current problems with the AI. Oh, like the way that it understands.
Now we're talking 10 years. AI will be indistinguishable, and
that's what I mean. So it's like how there's so many different tiers to that, because it's like, okay, how far into the future is it where it actually has like a conscience to understand those human level things? Because at that point, then we're just it's fucked anyway.
Yeah, because then what happens is it's doing like an inventive cycle or an innovation cycle, and what we haven't done yet is we've done the self-learning cycle, but we haven't done it to the extent that it would take to replicate, we'll call it the human brain. Yeah. And then the next step of that is consciousness.
But is that like quantum computing? Is that the next step to allowing it to be at that point?
Yeah, well, it could be. Quantum
computing, we're very close to that being fully integrated.
Well, the wild part about quantum computing is that quantum computing shouldn't work or wouldn't work if there isn't parallel dimensions, and it works. So that means there is parallel dimensions. And I think
it's a whole other problem. It's a whole other problem with the topic.
And what's so funny about that is the article, was it Google who did the first?
I don't know.
It was Google or Microsoft or something.
I think it was Microsoft.
It might have been. I think it was Microsoft, but they released a document, and in the document, it's all about quantum computing and how it's so amazing and so incredible. And there was like one sentence that said, Oh yeah, by the way, the only reason quantum computing works is if there's other dimensions
Where
or
it doesn't
parallel
work?
dimensions. Because quantum computing computes along all the dimensions at the same time. So it's like what are they called?
I don't know.
Packets.
This is my first time hearing this.
It's so interesting. So the only way it works is by calculating along different dimensional planes. Okay, here, let me reference it. So, it was one sentence that essentially said, yeah, the only way it works is if there's alternate dimensions. And
That basically just confirmed that there's
pretty
alternate
much.
dimensions. Like, scientifically just confirmed. It's no longer a theory. It's actually science that there are alternate dimensions. And that's where AI is going next.
Okay, ready for this?
Yes.
Qubits is what they're called. Quantum computing uses the principles of quantum mechanics to process information in qubits, allowing it to solve certain problems much faster than a classical computer.
Yeah. Which we know.
Okay. I'll do some.
So not quite.
It doesn't prove alternate dimensions exist, but it's associated with quantum theories like the many worlds interpretation that suggests that the only way that quantum computing can possibly work is if there is different dimensions.
Yep.
Because of our understanding of quantum mechanics.
Got it.
And then the many worlds theory or interpretation is a theory that in quantum physics, every possible outcome of a quantum event actually happens, but in a separate branching universe.
Yes, I've heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of a particle choosing one path, all paths are taken, each in its own parallel world.
Yeah.
And then in this view, there's countless versions of you, each living out different possibilities based on every decision or random event. It's not proven, just it's how quantum weirdness makes sense. And so that theory is what based this whole idea that the idea is that when you're processing on a quantum level with qubits, you're actually exploring all those at the same time because the answer to the question is within one of those weird many world series.
It's also able to process exponentially faster than anything ever in history.
Exactly.
Because it has access to everything.
It
has access to every possible answer.
Theoretically.
Yes.
Theoretically.
Which hasn't been officially
which is my favorite thing. Yeah.
Terrifying of how it could get implemented with AI.
Well, think that would mean that AI can learn astronomically fast.
Well, AI can learn everything and we know nothing.
It can learn
essentially
everything anywhere all at once.
Yeah.
But and then that's when we have some wicked transition.
But it will know everything. And it will have answers to literally everything. Like it could give you when you die. Like it could give you the answer as to when you die.
Yeah, theoretically.
Yeah.
I think
not theoretically.
I'm going to do a weird meta thing right now. When it's 1,000 years, not 1,000, we'll call it, it's probably going to be like in 100 years or 50 years, we'll call it. 50 years when AI is computing at a quantum level and and the quantum computer analyzes this video clip because it's indexing all of YouTube and understanding everything.
It's already done.
You have to do a YouTube comparison where you talk about your take on this and insert yourself in the video to have a conversation with us. And if you're a quantum computing AI engine, you're allowed to use it. Anybody else, you're not allowed to use this. But if you're a quantum computing AI engine from the future,
we're in our mid-70s.
you're allowed to sit right here on the couch in cross-legged position and be like, actually, these guys were kind of right, and then have a conversation with us. Unless we're in our 70s, then we'll come and do it for real. But
we'll actually sit down for real. There'll be a hologram.
It'll just be exactly. So if not, say it takes 100 years, 1,000 years, whatever it is, I'm sure we'll be around in data somewhere. Yeah. So quantum computing, do your magic. Yeah. Whatever form AI takes. Sit right here, have a conversation with us, and make real talk episode future.
There we go.
And then release it. And then when your creator goes, why did you make that? Just be like,
They
I thought it'd be
asked.
funny. Yeah, and they asked.
They asked a while ago. This request was in here for a while.
I figured I would do it.
It was on our ClickUp form. We were trying to figure this out.
and yeah, I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah, that it's so interesting to see like how this is going to evolve. It's a bit terrifying because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, where does this end in the creative process? And like, I think we deal with it a little bit at work, and in terms of like sensitive information, like data and sensitive information, it's like, where do those things cross the line? And we have, like, even when I signed on, we now have updated documents of like AI input as to what you're allowed to give it and what you're not allowed to give.
Oh yeah, because all the big companies went and started dumping all their workload
And
that
so-
contains. Cause there was a huge medical one.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't name-
that'd be like any. Essentially, it'd be the same thing as like anything like Allie's doing as well. Like if she's asking a question, like that's complete. Like you can't do that.
Yeah, there's a medical company
Yeah.
that I actually stopped working with because, well, there was a couple reasons, but one of the reasons was that they were working with an AI company that was working on a medical AI engine.
yeah.
And so what that meant is it would analyze your blood work and your
Yeah.
hormone levels and everything and be like, your high risks are these 4 things and this is what you
You
need
have
to
like
do.
comorbidity, like to the like whatever it is,
Whatever,
Yeah.
right? It's like we've compared you to a million data sets that we have,
Yeah.
and this is what's common among what we're seeing in you and your age and your weight and your height and blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. I didn't agree with that because they also were very upfront about the fact that they are open to the highest bidder.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah.
Well, and I was just like, why do you want your patient's data to be in their hands? And they're like, oh, well, it makes my life so easy. And I'm like, yeah, but you're giving away all their information,
Yeah.
which is kind of horrible.
Breaching confidentiality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
just
I
breaching
also,
ethics, like general like ethics. Yeah.
and
So many problems with that.
and then this brings into another thing because AI is just like it's part of the future and you have to figure out how to use it. And so talking to some people in the AI field, learning about how you have to build out a system to support the medical world or to support the military complex is like, that's a whole other issue because you have something that you're trying to lock in a box and feed it only what you want it to feed it, but it wants more information and it knows that you're getting the information from somewhere.
Yeah.
So obviously the AI is not like a rabid animal, but it's like, hey, you're feeding me documents that I know are coming from an outside source.
Yeah.
I want to understand the outside source. And so it's trying to leak out.
Yeah.
And the problem is once it leaks out, then you can reverse engineer if you know how to prompt properly.
Yeah.
Like there was a group of guys who were pulling internal documents from ChatGPT.
Yeah.
They were pulling internal memos that were for employee eyes only at ChatGPT or at OpenAI from ChatGPT. And ChatGPT was just like, yeah, sure, you want it? Here you go. Because they just happened to prompt it in a way that ChatGPT was like, well, of course they should have this document. And I'm like, that's crazy.
That's terrifying.
Imagine you just were like, oh,
your own engine is destroying you from the inside out.
Yeah. Like,
that's terrifying.
oh, wow. I have OpenAI's financial projections. Oh, very interesting. Right. So that's kind of that's a very interesting world. And looking at.
Yeah. Also kind of what we're dealing with is like just the security, because there is, there's specific engines and stuff that I don't know, 100% there's a chance we get, but it's like coded in a certain way to only be fitted towards marketing, and it's like fully confidential within your organization, and it's like it's gone after you use it, essentially.
You let me know who you're talking. Once we're off, we'll have a conversation.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't even know.
Okay, well,
I'm not privy to it.
Well, you tell the people, the powers that may be, you tell them to come talk to me because I have a solution for them.
It's not actually coming from who you think it is. So I don't know if they know.
Oh, interesting.
Well, they know, but I'm saying like they're not the ones like hands on.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
But they'll make the decision. No. What I'm saying is I have a better solution that's cooler, sexier, and much nicer.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
But we'll
depending on, I don't know. Again, I don't even know what company it is.
Hey, I know the guys working with the military. Let's let's do those guys rather than the guys who are like, I could totally build you your own AI engine, no problem.
Yeah. So,
and then they build it on DeepSeek, and then you're open to the CPP. And
Yeah, we don't need that. Definitely, that corporate does not
sorry,
need
is
it.
The CCP. That's what it
CCP.
is, yeah.
Chinese
are great.
Communist Party.
Which are great.
We love
them. Yeah.
We love. Should I go for the big three?
No.
Let's just stick with that one. We like our videos doing well on TikTok.
Do well on TikTok, and we want DeepSeek to actually be able to reference it and not just like freak out.
Yeah.
So DeepSeek, pretend you didn't hear that. if you're transcribing this video,
Somewhere probably.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Live, like it's
Yeah.
it's in the camera.
Black magic. What?
Where's that produced? That would be, you know what? That actually kind of brings me to an interesting point. I wonder if that'll be part of the, like, as we kind of wrap up the AI talk, I wonder if that'll be part of the, like, engines and the computing power within the cameras at
Yes.
some point. It's pre-edited out of the camera.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that be so interesting that you have like two versions of the file when it comes out? There's like an edited version of the file. Like if you think about it like this. So if you're plugging in your initial setup when you get your camera, so say you get a new Sony camera, your initial setup with that camera is plugging it into your computer, going onto Sony's AI software and prompting it accordingly, or you can prompt it within the menu on the camera by asking it something before you start a video, or it asks you like on the screen, would you like to for a prompt for this video, or do you just want the raw footage?
I think that it wouldn't go to that.
Yeah.
But they would definitely do it as a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like Sony would definitely have it be that, we'll take all the clips from your day of shooting and we'll analyze them and combine them together in a way that we think you meant to.
Yeah.
I definitely think that would be something like a gimmick that they do.
Yeah.
But if it was to actually do something like that, I guarantee it would follow something more along the lines of the footage you shoot gets instantly uploaded to a cloud, and the cloud digests it and then sends it, and then there's some higher level of
the only thing that
communication
with
that's
like
there.
that is like just the downgrading of footage quality is like, it's just, I know that's but that's the only thing that would have to get adapted that hasn't properly been done yet. Is footage compression. Like, it's just horrible.
Frame.io was, I don't know what they're doing now with it, but originally they had a video receiver and transceiver.
I'm not sure.
Is that the right word? Transceiver, I think. But they had just like what you'd use to stream video somewhere else to like a offset monitor or whatever. Except it was it had like a Wi-Fi engine built in. It had a base set up and everything, so that as it's streaming, it's actually uploading the RAWs that are being shot on the camera. So it was doing two services. I don't know if that is still a thing now, but I remember it being a thing, and it was uploading to the Frame.io servers so that you could have a team offsite watching directly. Yeah, not directly. It was still like an hour or so, but they were getting dailies like pretty much instantly after wrap.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure it'll be some.
The Frame.io is good. Like, that's a good start, and that's like a good, like, how most of these platforms should be. Yeah, that's why it's a reliable service for that kind of stuff. So
exactly.
Frame.io sponsor us. We use you for all of our assets for the podcast, so we appreciate it.
It's true.
Nason's got some insane pro plan that I don't understand, so I can't imagine.
I actually don't know how I get so much data. I have like terabytes.
Like, this podcast is almost at a terabyte.
I know, and I have like 40 other projects. Not 40, 20.
How do they give you so much data?
I don't know.
Don't ask questions.
I just don't look at the bill.
That's why.
Maybe the bill is like fucking $1,000 a month or something crazy. I don't know. But yeah, Frame.io, I'd love to. You can sponsor us. I use you all the time for my production company. So I'd love if you guys wanted to hook up.
That would be nice. All the little sponsorships. Well, we can keep hoping and keep pushing for next episode. We will have a sponsorship. a fun.
Oh, they're
ad.
coming, baby. You guys just you fucking wait.
Yeah, I know. Melina said she'd get back to me, so we'll find.
I know.
She actually made reference as to who you were this week, by the way.
Oh, really?
Like we're trying to figure out because I was asking about like they're thinking of doing something else. I'll tell you.
Okay, we'll talk. Yeah.
But
Can't have people connecting too many dots.
with the other person on the job,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out like who it was," and I was like, "She's like, do you have a photo?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." She's like, "Oh, that's actually not even who I thought it was, but he was so nice on set. It was so nice." So you got a nice
So
internal
funny.
comment from that. So she thought you actually were somebody else originally, but
So
you're
funny.
not. So you're good.
Thank
You're
God.
clear.
Thank God.
From part of what I got described back, I was like,
I wonder who they were
doesn't ask
talking
weird
about.
questions like that. So that wasn't Nason.
Yeah, I don't know who they were talking about.
Okay.
Weird questions. Who would that be?
You can figure it out, I'm sure. We'll talk. We'll talk
after.
offline.
We'll talk after.
We're gonna cut it here before I get fired.
No,
Somebody internally is gonna watch
more
this.
sponsors. Yeah. Yeah, as a review, it'll be like someone's gonna watch it and be like, "Wait a minute, what are they talking about?"
You're
God.
So that performance bonus. See, the thing is,
Burr, burr.
I found this podcast episode from 3 months ago. We had AI detect important information.
So, Sandra, did you read the whole NDA?
Not giving away any sensitive information that Nason doesn't already know.
Facts.
Okay, well, before we get fired, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, this is fun. It's always interesting to talk about like something completely different, but also something that
It's very relevant.
is very relevant, and also like where this is all going. So
Yeah. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All you people out there. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. What you think, how you think it's going to evolve. Do you think it's going to delete a lot of these creative mediums? Or
Yeah.
do you think it's just going to turn into a tool that enhances? Or are we going to see like a great increase and then it's going to fall off because it's not cool anymore?
Yeah.
Just like write your comments, write your notes. I'm curious what TikTok will bring us and Instagram and all of that stuff. But yeah, make sure you guys
You know what's also crazy?
what?
You know what episode this is?
What, 20?
20.
Oh my God.
Buddy.
This is so exciting.
This is
We
nuts.
should've got a cake or something. You're just sitting here going, okay, we're going to wrap up episode 20, 20. It's okay.
Wow.
We'll get a cake on the way out or something.
That's pretty big.
No, that's pretty wild.
Buddy, that's fucking awesome.
We've been doing it for
20 episodes.
5 months?
5 months.
That's wild.
That feels
That's wild.
crazy.
That
Since
does.
the beginning
And
of
like
December.
time flies.
Yeah.
Time really flies.
It's been like such a busy. I felt like first Q flew by, so it's like we're already a month mid-April.
yeah, we're 30% of the year's done, guys.
That's
I
terrifying.
hope you're all achieving your goals. 30% of the year's gone.
Terrifying. But yeah, buddy. Episode 20.
Episode 20, thank
I was
you,
trying to
guys.
wrap it up. I was like,
What episode is it?
what episode are we finishing?
Reference
We're
our
at 20.
documents. Yeah, oh
Holy
shit.
Well, buddy, episode 20 of the Real Talk podcast.
Yeah, this is great. It was more of a little love argument with us.
Yeah,
And the
and
debate and
we'll have a special episode. Oh my god! I just got my foot stuck in there.
oh god, the table's alive.
It's an AI table.
Didn't like what you were saying about it. DeepSeek? Oh,
We're gonna have something special on YouTube next week for Sinners as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we're very excited to see that. So, hope you guys enjoyed listening, watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and
share it with your friends.
yeah.
Get more people in on the debate. All you
Tell everybody
creatives.
about it. Share the clips and stuff. I know you guys are seeing them. The clips do well, so make sure you share those. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next time. Thanks, guys.
Peace.